which album once said, "Life is a series of pull, back and forth." That was a winter morning. Officer Ram Shashwan was assigned a task to grind truth out of S. Unni Krishnan, more popularly known as Unni Chetan, in the Red Corridor. 5 years back, he was a prominent face in Kochi Red Corner. One day, he and his comrades did something outrageous in reaction to what government casually labelled as crackdown. After a long witch hunt exercise, it's time to finally open the Pandora box.
I'm coming. Hey Madhavan, get some coffee for me. Only for me. With this stuff, you can make a fool out of a godman or a priest, not me. This get-up, the innocent look on your face, and all this religious crap, not going to work against me. Okay. Let's start this again. My name is Ram Shashwan. I'm here to take your statement. It would be better if you tell everything. Lies won't work, not in the court, not in front of me.
Ram, do you really want to hear? Or do what your bosses have asked you to do? I don't blame you. This entire system is farce. So write whatever you want and I'll sign it for you.
I want your statement. Everything from scratch. Nothing but the truth.
Don't ask me the truth. I have pledged to remain truthful, but you cannot handle it. So for the better, don't ask.
And I have pledged to find the truth. It's my duty.
And what will you get out of it? Nothing. So just write whatever you want and I'll sign it for you. If you are so adamant. 6 years ago, I started reading Marx and Lenin. Dr. Agaram was my mentor. We started as small groups of revolutionaries against the autocratic government. They were exploiting poor people. They were nothing more than a bunch of pimps with power. It was a phase of delusion. We would set police jeeps and junctions on fire. We were just raging. We thought that it was the best way to stop them. However, Doctor was against the mindless acts of violence. He believed in strategic attacks and strikes on the government and establishments, but in restraint. He believed in taking common man in conflict. He would meet people who suffered government agencies' atrocities and help them in whatever was possible. The acts of vandalism increased. The tougher the police acted, the harder we would strike back.
That justifies a lot of what I've read in reports.
Maybe. Official version can be half truth. It is either exaggerated or understated. 5 years ago, May 3rd, it was a black evening. It was summer, but still, sun went down on me. Just before the day, I heard the news. Doctor was butchered by the season. Insanity ruled us that night. It was gothic. We found some people of the nearby village, informed the police about his whereabouts. Police and local politicians offered them a school and a police station, and they sold their leader? Betrayal. We wanted to take revenge. That night, the devil in me came out and set the entire village on fire. 383 was the official figure.
So the official version seems to be correct, except for the part that Doctor died in crossfire.
Official version? You know who told us about the informers? Any idea who instigated us that night? That's why I'm saying, don't ask me the truth.
That was an unfortunate night. Dr. Agaram was a progressive person. He knew the strength and limitation of armed revolution. His base of admirers was increasing every day, and he was looking forward to become a part of the system rather than fighting with it. But the government was thinking the other way now. His involvement in the democratic process would have jeopardized their own situation. Nobody wants an intellectual, an honest, or a disciplinarian in the system. Dr. Agaram was a blend of all these three.
You should never smoke. It kills. You are asking about why do we need this movement when we have a communist regime in this country? I agree that we have a communist government, but do you really think they believe in communism? We have a good education system, but our people still have to work in capitalist Middle East for bread. Communism is not against industries, it's against private wealth. Industries are as important as agriculture to the system, but its government, I'm cherishing this dream of having a country with achieve for everyone. The benefits will be reaped by each common man. Along with agriculture, industries will reach common man. Government is stressing on making people learn alphabets and science, but they're not opening colleges in villages. Why? They don't want higher education. They want high literacy rate, but frown on higher education. They are producing barely skilled but educated laborers. One is not creating jobs for them. However, they are giving a full hand to people who make alcohol. Why? So that they can drink and forget every worry? Is this a solution? Itaanu Uttaram? Hey kid, you run that way. They'll come after me. Don't worry. Just run for your life.
That day was a prelude to madness. Sheer madness. No one in right senses could have advocated the murder. It was a big trigger to all the half-baked Marxists with arms and red bandana. They exercised restraint because they had so much reverence for this person. His killing meant unleashing the demons.
Bandukpura people, I can't believe Guruji was fighting for them only.
They will have to pay for this. Heavily. They cannot build a dream over someone's grave who died for them. They cannot. The entire village will pay for this. And tonight will be the day of judgment.
When Unni and his fellows realized the gravity of the crime they did, they decided to impose a brief exile on themselves. The initial plan was to save themselves for further agitation, meet after a short exile and strike back. In the meantime, some of them got killed and some left politics. Unni, the leader, made Kannur his home. Initially, he had no guilt for what he did. However, with time, he started feeling an itch.
Father, I want to confess.
Sure, my son. Tell me.
I'm responsible for a massacre. I have killed many people.
Why did you do that?
They were responsible for my leader's death.
All of them? Possibly some of them were innocent. Am I wrong? You know, my son, the problem arises when you realize that you have done something wrong. Do you have guilt?
Yes, I have, Father.
Are you sorry?
I am, Father. Will the Almighty forgive me?
Son, no sin is big enough that it can't be forgiven. When a remorseful heart asks for the pardon, Almighty will forgive you. Have it in your heart.
But was everything brought in front of the Enquiry Commission probing into Kochi Massacre truth? Truth has an Unni attached with it. It speaks the language of the victor, the ruler. Unni's truth was between two people, Unni and the person who told him that Mandakpuram people backstabbed his leader. Who was he? Will the Enquiry Commission ever try to bring him to justice? I afraid.
Unni, that bastard. Somebody has to be accountable. Somebody has to be fixed. I thought I got that idiot, but he escaped. Now that he is under arrest, it's easy. But I hope this Ram guy is not very intelligent. He should not get any idea about my Norman. This massacre that gave boost to my career should not drown it. It should not.
What happened that night? It was a hideous game. Dr. Agaram was looking forward to drop the arms and join democracy. P. Adinath was a friend. He was a MLA in opposition and his party wanted to win the election. Naxalites' plan to join mainstream politics was not helping their cause. Adinath thought of a scheme. He tipped off Agaram to police. Then he told Unni, people from Mandakpuram did the backstabbing. He instigated him and Unni and his fellows did exactly what he wanted. Government failed to bring the culprits to nose, and this worked against an agitated public. Adinath's party won the election and he was rewarded. Now when in government, he was supposed to bring Kochi Massacre to a conclusion. A logical conclusion.
So, officer, you believe that Unni is not the only person to be blamed? There's much more than his confession story?
Yes, I believe so.
Why?
I have mentioned all that in my statement. Unni's act was a reaction against something unwanted, something that could have been avoided.
Let me remind you, officer, that all the officers involved in the encounter of Naxalite leader Agaram are not accused. That is beyond the scope of this inquiry.
Sir, I know that. Also, he was not the only person involved, and we technically have no strong proof against him. We arrested him on the basis of doubt, and beyond his confession that mentions someone who instigated him and his man, we don't have any proof.
You had your statement. Thanks, officer.
I want to pursue this case.
Ravi, any plea of leniency?
I'm not done yet.
Yes, you are.
On grounds of the fact that Unni is a changed man and is involved in humanitarian activities since his escape, I would request to recommend minimum punishment.
Thanks, Ravi, for cutting it short.
The recommendations were drafted a day before Ram gave his statement. He was not allowed to probe about everyone involved in Kochi Massacre, and only Unni was booked. Adinath became the power minister. Dr. Agaram always sought an answer from the authorities. He was brutally murdered. His name was aligned with murderers and criminals. His ideology was dumb. For all the questions he asked, this was the answer. Itaanu Uttaram.